Hello everyone and welcome back to the Swift Academy. My name is Sajjad and in this video we are going to talk about the frames inside the SwiftUI. Frames are so powerful because when you are trying to create the complex views inside the SwiftUI, this is the frame that can help you. You have to understand deeply and fundamentally about the frames, how they are going to shape your views, how you are going to use them as the separate module or separate even modifier to add them and stack them on top of each other to create beautiful views. So be with me, I will show you how you can use the power of the frames inside the SwiftUI. But before that, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon because I'm going to create a lot of videos regarding the SwiftUI and how you can use them fundamentally inside your applications. Okay, now it's time to dive deeper inside the frame and how we can actually leverage these cool and very powerful modifier inside our SwiftUI application. So for that reason, I'm going to create another file here, and it should be SwiftUI view. I will call it as the frame bootcamp and hit enter. So we have our file ready to use. Wait a second to canvas and the simulator inside that to be loaded, and we are good to go. Yeah, okay, this is not gonna be a long video as I said, but frame is one of the most important part inside our application, because when you are trying to create a lot of complex views, you definitely needs to know how frames actually working and how the hierarchy of them reacting to your view. So for example, if we have just a text as a component here, if I click on the text inside our simulator or canvas, you can see a blue line around it. This is the frame that it is under it, and it can be reacted when we are adding some words to it as well. So for example, if I'm trying to add another hello world at the end of that, you can see the frame expand itself and make it around our object. But what if we want to add our own frame and tell the view or the component inside that we want to have inside a particular frame as we described? So if I hold down the option key and hit the enter, it gives me all the compilation related to the frame. It needs a width, for example, 200, 200, and the alignment I'm going to put as the center. So as you can see, the frame is now as a square with the 200 width and height, and the alignment inside that is going to be centered. To be more visible, I'm going to add just a background, and the color I'm going to add here just like as the red. So we can now see the whole frame around our text. The frame is going to be responding to what we actually putting inside the width and height, and the object or the component or the view inside this frame can be aligned with this alignment parameter. So if I put, for example, leading, it's going to be push the view inside that to the left side, to the leading of the frame. So it is so easy to use, but you have to keep care and be aware of the hierarchy of the modifiers that we are adding underneath of each component. To show it to you, let me add another background on the top of it. Oops, dot background, and I'm going, for example, to add the color dot green here. As you can see, the background right now, the green background, is around the text itself. After that, we have a frame, and then we have a background. It means that each frame, the hierarchy inside that is so important. The background is related to the text here, then we have a frame, then we have a background. it is so useful because when you are creating the complex views, we can use this kind of the background and coloring them to find out where is your object and how is the frame of your object actually reacting. I can change the alignment here, so I can put it as the top, for example. It will be going to the top, and or maybe we can change another alignment for that. Or all of these options, the width or height or the parameters may be gonna be optional. We can just use the width here. We can just pass the width into the frame, and the view going to have that frame with the width and the default height for that. So all of them can be optional for us. But what if we want to create a view? Let me bring it back here and make the alignment leading. What if we want to have this text hello world as the component or as the view to be leading or to be attached to the left side of the whole view here? So in that case, we have to use another frame compilation parameters that I'm going to show you here. If you can see, we have a lot of minimum width, ideal width. Let me hold the option key and hit the enter. Minimum width, ideal width, max width, and minimum height, and all these kind of stuffs. Let me walk you through all of them one by one. So for example, with the maximum width and alignment, I'm going to just keep the alignment and the maximum width. Okay, I'm going to delete them, just alignment, and then also delete all of them. So we now have the frame with the maximum width. I'm going to put it as the infinity, and the alignment going to be just leading. So let's see what the view actually reacting to that. The maximum width telling the SwiftUI that expand the width to as possible as it can be as the parent view. So if the parent view, it means that the frame of our mobile is whatever it is, it can be expand itself to be maximized and show it itself. So if I add the maximum height again here, for example, and added infinity, we are going to have the height as possible as the parent view is. When I'm talking about the parent view, so let me give you another example by creating the hierarchy of the frame and the background. So if, for example, I'm adding another background color here as the, for example, color dot yellow, and then adding another frame here and call it as the, for example, 200 by 200, and the alignment going to be center. As you can see, this yellow background going to be affect the text hello world here, and then we have another background for the green, that this background color is going to respond to this frame, and then we have another frame with the maximum width and the maximum height with the background color after it that occupy all the space of the parent view. So each one of this background is going to be keep the hierarchy and reacting to the parent view on the top of it. And one more thing, that maybe you are going to ignore this safe area to be the fully actually having a full background around that. Maybe we are not going to using the maximum width or maximum height, or in some cases we just need the maximum height. We can just add the ignore safe area, and this background color, the last background color that, as I said, it is going to be obey the hierarchy, going to be ignore the safe area on the top and on the bottom. So it's going to be fully expand itself, not only through the background or the parent view, but it's going to expand itself to ignore the safe areas on the top and on the bottom. So that's a all that we need to know about the frames and all the hierarchies. So later on, when you are going to create complex views, it is going to be useful to know that how the frame actually reacting to each parents and the object or the components on the top of it and underneath of it. So this is all about the frame. I hope you like something in this video, so please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon. Later on, I'm going to continue this SwiftUI bootcamp and see you later in the next video. Bye bye.